And here we go, yet another rabbit caught with this ancient technology. Whenever you have a success, you always want to thank the animal for its sacrifice, whatever suffering you may have put it through. But this guy was dead pretty dang quick. Thanks, rabbit. I'm gonna enjoy eating you buttermilk fried.
Do primitive traps work? Yes, they work. You just have to practice and know what you're doing. People's lives depended on these skills for millennia. This stuff is no joke. Proof is in the pudding. Thank you, rabbit, for your sacrifice. Alright, remember when I told you should always err on the side of your spring or snare pole being too strong? Well, there's a couple reasons for that. One is that it's much more humane. You're more likely to dispatch the animal quickly if its back legs are off the ground. It will be less of a struggle. However, there is another reason to make sure it lifts high, and really, ideally, you'd like it 4 to 6 feet off the ground. It's not always possible to do that because you can't always find a snare pole that big right where you need it. But here's why.
If you don't have your intended game hanging 4 to 6 feet off the ground, this is what can happen. This is the second rabbit that I've caught today. The only difference being that a coyote or a fox made it to this rabbit before I did. He had an easy day of hunting today. And you can see he skinned the rabbit, ate every last morsel of meat, except for he was generous enough to leave me the back hams, which I'm definitely going to make use of. And that coyote saliva actually adds a very sophisticated flavor to the finished dish. Just joking, but it might be true. Anyhow, I'm a little pissed, but he kinda outfoxed me, no pun intended, so I guess he wins this time. Make your snare poles high as you can. There you can see I got the half of the rabbit that the coyote or fox didn't eat. You owe it to any animal that you catch to eat that animal. Otherwise, it's a sin to take the life of that animal. And just because all of this animal isn't here doesn't mean I'm gonna leave the rest. There's nothing wrong with this meat. It's gonna be delicious, and there's a good story behind it. Back hams is where most of the meat is anyway. Don't waste life.
Now, when I reset that trap where the coyote or the fox got to the rabbit, it's essential, if you ever have a situation like that where there's been blood shed at your trap site, that rabbit was gutted, there was definitely rabbit blood in the trail. A rabbit is going to shy away from that. They're extremely sensitive to any signs of predation. So if you hope to catch another rabbit at that same set, which I do, you're going to need to make sure you scrape up all the dirt, all the debris that may have gotten blood on it before you reset the trap, or you won't have any visitors for quite some time, except for predators.